Hello and welcome to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to understand how to unenroll a teachable student from Google Sheets. So let's say that we have got the details of our student and the course they have applied for in our Google Sheet, and now every time the status is changed to completed or unenroll, then automatically first the user should be searched in Teachable and then it should be unenrolled from Teachable from that particular course. Now to do this, we will have to integrate Google Sheets with Teachable, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect. So here my trigger application will be Google Sheets, then my action application will be Teachable. Now to understand how you can do this yourself, integrate and automate this entire process, let's begin. So this here is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect software, and you can reach here by clicking on the link which is given in the video description. So if you are an existing user, sign in, and if you are a new user, you will have to sign up. It is not going to take more than 2 minutes, and also at the time of account creation, you will get 100 free tasks. Now once you reach the dashboard, on the right hand side there is a tab Create Workflow. Click on this. This dialog box has appeared. Here you will have to name your workflow. You can give any random name. I'm going to name it as per my objective, which is to unenroll a teachable student from Google Sheets. Now I'm going to click on Create. As we do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One here is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens. Action here says do this. Basically action here is the automated response of your trigger application. Now let's understand this with the help of an example. So every time you swipe your card and the payment is made, then you get a response on either SMS or WhatsApp about the amount debited. How does it happen? With the help of automation. And in such a case, your trigger application will be the payment gateway, and your action application can be any application with which you can send these messages. Let's come to our use case. So here I have got my spreadsheet. Let me show you the same. So I have got the spreadsheet. The name is course status. Within this I have got two sheets. One is advanced PHP, another one is Java. Now here I have the following fields: name, email address and the course status. So if the status of the course is completed, then I want the workflow to continue and unenroll the student. And if the status is incomplete, then the workflow should not continue. Okay, now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here I'm going to choose my trigger application as Google Sheets. Then comes the trigger event. The trigger event here will be new or updated spreadsheet row. So every time a new row is added in that spreadsheet, then automatically this workflow is going to start. Now here we have received a webhook URL. This URL is going to act as a bridge for connecting Pabbly Connect and Google Sheets. I'm going to copy this. Now once this is done, we have to follow the following steps. Please read this carefully. Let me show you exactly what you have to do. So I'm going to take you to Google Sheet. Now here I'm going to go to extensions, go to add-ons, get add-ons. Here we have reached Google Workspace Marketplace, and here I'm going to look for Pabbly Connect webhooks. Let's click on this. Now you can see that this particular application has already been installed. Please make sure that you install this, and once you do that, close this window and do not forget to refresh this page. This is absolutely important, and once you have refreshed this, we are going to wait for a few seconds, and then I'm going to take you back to extensions, and here you would be able to see Pabbly Connect webhooks. Let's go to initial setup. Now here you can see that the system has automatically selected the name of the sheet. Now this webhook URL that we had copied, I am going to paste the same here. Then comes the trigger column. Now the trigger column is the final data column where the data is added. Now in our sheet it is added in column C. So here I'm going to mention C. Click on submit. Now as I do that, we can see that the configuration is all set. I'm going to click on send test. And here we can see that the test data has been sent successfully. Let's go and check Pabbly Connect, and yes, here we have received the response. This here is the trigger column. This is the name of the spreadsheet. This is the spreadsheet ID. Then we have the sheet name, sheet ID, row index. name, email address and course status. Now here we want that every time a new data is added in my Google Sheet, then automatically Pabbly Connect should receive the response. To make sure that happens, here we are going to go to extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and you can see send on event. So as you click on this, you will get this tick mark right in front. So this is absolutely important, so please make sure that you do that. Now I'm going to repeat this entire process for the next sheet. Let's go to extensions. Now here you can see I have already installed Pabbly Connect webhook, so it is appearing here. I'm going to directly take you to initial setup. Now here you can see that again it has selected the sheet. I'm going to paste the URL. The trigger column is the same, which is C. Let's click on submit and send test. So okay, once this is done, now I'm going to close this, take you back to Pabbly Connect. And here we have received the response. Now what is my objective? First of all, I want to make sure that this workflow continues only when the person has completed the course or it is written that the person is to be enrolled. So I'm going to choose my action application, which is actually a feature by Pabbly, that is filter. Now here I'm going to select the label. So I'm going to go to my Google Sheets, and as I take you down, here we have the course status. Now if this is equal to completed, I'm going to add an OR condition, and if the same course, so here it is completed, so if this equals to unenroll, then this workflow should continue. So I'm going to click on save and send test request. Here you can see that the condition is true. Why? Because here the response that we have received, the course status is shown as completed. That's why we have received a positive response. Now once the condition is true, then I'm going to go ahead with my next action step where the application is going to Teachable. Let's click on this. Now here we have to select the action event, and here I'm going to select search user. Why? Because here we have to first understand whether this particular person already exists in Teachable or no. Because if the person is not a part of Teachable, we won't be able to unenroll the person. I'm now going to click on connect. As we do that, here Pabbly Connect wants to connect with Teachable account. Since we are setting up this connection for the first time, I'm going to select add new connection. And now here we need to fill in this information to set up this connection. So once I have entered the email address and password, here we have to enter the subdomain. Now it is very well mentioned that you have to go to admin sites and there you will find the domain. So this is my Teachable account, and here I am going to go ahead with add Pabbly school. As I enter add Pabbly schools, now here I am going to take you to site. Now within site we have domains. And this here is the complete domain. Now from this complete domain, we need the subdomain, which is this particular part. So I'm going to copy this, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste the same here. I'm going to click on save. And here we can see that Teachable and Pabbly Connect are now connected. Now once this is done, here we have to enter the email address of the person to search for the person if it is a part of Teachable or no. For this, I'm going to map the information. How? So as I click on this, you can see the previous steps. I'm going to go to step 1, and this here is the email address of the person. Now this method with which I have added the information here is known as mapping, and this is important so that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data into consideration. Had I written the same information manually, so even when this workflow was running in real time, it wouldn't have taken the new response received. Instead, it would have been stuck with the manually written data. So to avoid that, we map the information. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And as I do that, here we have received the response which says that yes, this user is a part of Teachable. So this was created at this particular date and time. Then here we have the role, which is a student. This is the complete name. Then as I take you down, here we have the email address. Then again, this here is the student ID or the user's ID. This here is the school ID. Now once we have understood that this particular user has been enrolled in Teachable for the particular course, so what do I want? I want to unenroll the person because the course is completed. And now there might be a possibility that these users have enrolled in multiple courses. Now in such a case, I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly, which is router. Here it is. Now router step allows to execute different conditions based on the filter conditions you set. So basically here I am going to follow different routes. Let's say the person has enrolled for advanced PHP course, then the route 1 should follow. If the person has enrolled for Java course, then route 2 will follow. Similarly, if you have got multiple courses, you can create multiple routes. Now, first of all, I'm going to rename these routes. So let's say the name of the route 1 is Advanced PHP. I'm going to click on Update. Then we have got route 2, so I'm going to rename this as Java. Here I'm going to click on Update. Now I'm going to set filter and action steps. So for Advanced PHP, I am going to click on this, go to step 1, and here we have the sheet name. So this should be equal to Advanced PHP, then only the workflow should continue. I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. So here you can see that the condition is true. Why? Because this particular student has enrolled for Advanced PHP course. Now what is my final action step? So here I'm going to choose my action application as Teachable. Let's click on this. And the action event here will be to unenroll student from course. Let's click on Connect. Here I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. And now here we have to fill in this information. First of all, the student ID. I'm going to turn on this mapping button, and here I'm going to delete this. Let's map this information. So I'm going to go to step 3, and as I take you down, this here is the user's ID. Then we have the course ID. So here we are setting up this route for Advanced PHP. So I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. And here you can see we have received the response. Now this particular person had enrolled for Advanced PHP as well as Java course. Now let's go and check if the user has been unenrolled from Advanced PHP course. So I'm going to take you to Teachable, and here let's go to Users. Now here I'm going to take you down. This here is our dummy student. Let's go to Enrollments. Now you can see that initially it was enrolled for both the courses, Advanced PHP and Java. Now it is only enrolled for Java course. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. Close this. And here I'm going to set filter and action steps for Java. So first of all, the label. So here I'm going to click on this, go to step 1. So this is the sheet name. Now this should be equal to Java. So I'm going to click on Save and Send Test Request. So here we can see that the condition is false. Why? Because this student had enrolled for Advanced PHP course. Now let's say that the student had enrolled for Java course. In that particular case, again my final action application would have been Teachable. Let's click on this. And the action event here would have been to unenroll student from course. Again I'm going to click on Connect and go ahead with the existing connection. Now here again we had to map the student's ID. So I'm going to go to step 3, and here I'm going to look for ID. So this here is the user's ID. Now here we have to select the course ID. So the course ID would have been Java. Now I'm just going to save this because this user has not applied for the Java course. So this is our workflow. So I hope this is absolutely clear to you. Now let's do one thing. We are going to check the same in real time. First of all, I'm going to take you to Teachable. Now I'm going to take you to Users. Now here we know that this student has also enrolled for Java course. So I'm going to select the same student. This here is the name. So I'm going to copy this, fill this name here. Then we have the email address. So this here is the email address. I'm going to copy this, add here. Now let's say here I'm going to write Unenroll. Okay, now I'm going to click on enter. Now as soon as this information is added here, what should happen? First of all, my workflow is going to check for the course status. Now since it is written here unenroll, so then it is going to look for the user, and finally it is going to unenroll the person from the course. So let's go and check the same. So here is admin. I'm going to quickly refresh this page, and now here I'm going to go to enrollments. And we can see dummy student is not enrolled in any courses. It was initially enrolled in Java, but it is now not enrolled in any of our courses. So this basically means that our integration is a complete success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. Here our trigger was Google Sheets, where the event was new or updated spreadsheet row. Then our first action application was a feature by Pabbly, which is filter. Now we have applied this so that the workflow should continue only when the course status is either completed or unenrolled. Then we had next action application, which was Teachable. Here we had to search for the user, and finally we had used another feature by Pabbly, which is router, so that our workflow can conditionally run. So here we had two routes, advanced PHP and Java. So if the student has enrolled for advanced PHP, so this particular route is going to follow and the person will get unenrolled from Teachable. Similarly, if the person has applied for Java course, so this particular route will follow and the person will be unenrolled from Java course. I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us.
Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.